You're 89. You open your eyes just as the sun hits the curtain. Your hands stretch. Your mind is clear. You feel awake. You rise slowly, like always. And you do the same little things you've done for decades. That's when your great-grandson says, "How are you still this strong?" And you smile. Because the secret isn't in your genes. It's in your mornings. Welcome to Speech Balloon Longevity Talks Herb. In this video, we'll explore 7 simple but powerful morning habits that researchers link to longer, healthier life. How these habits affect not just your body, but your brain, mood, and longevity. Why number 4 takes just 30 seconds, but may be the most powerful of them all. Because the path to 90 and beyond isn't paved with secrets. It's shaped by repetition, by choosing the right things every morning. If you're over 60 and still want to feel strong, clear, and full of life, this video is for you. You wake up at the same time, even without an alarm. It's not about being an early bird. It's about consistency. One of the strongest predictors of health after 80 is this. People wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends, not because they have to, but because their body trusts their rhythm. Speech Balloon Real Comment says, "My grandmother never needed an alarm clock. She woke up at 6:30 for 45 years and made coffee like clockwork. She died at 97, peaceful, proud, and still making her own toast." Speech Balloon. Story, Helen's Hour. Helen, 87, had never been a morning person. But after retirement, she made a promise to herself. Wake up. Every day. No matter what. No phone. No snooze. Just daylight, a deep breath, and the sound of birds. Over time, her digestion improved. Her mood stabilized. She stopped forgetting things. Her doctor told her, "Your circadian rhythm is healthier than most 40-year-olds." All because she stopped letting the clock control her and started letting her body lead. Test tube. Why this matters. Your internal clock, the circadian rhythm, controls sleep quality, hormone release, cellular repair, blood pressure, mental clarity. When you wake at the same time daily, cortisol and melatonin levels stabilize. Your brain anticipates daylight and prepares for movement. You reduce risk of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. You sleep better at night. But when your wake time fluctuates, especially after 60, your system never finds balance. You wake tired, foggy, unmotivated. Wrench what you can do. Set your bedtime and wake time and protect them. Use natural light to wake up. Open blinds. Walk outside. Avoid long naps after 3 p.m. They confuse the rhythm. Keep your first hour tech-free so your brain wakes up gently, even if you don't feel like it. Get up at the same time tomorrow. Not for the world, for your body. Compass the deeper truth. It's not about being disciplined. It's about being in sync. Because when your body knows what to expect, it gives you everything it has to keep you going. You start with water, before coffee, before anything. It sounds too simple to matter. But the first thing you put in your body each morning sets the tone for your entire system. And people who live well past 90, they almost always begin with water. Plain. Room temperature. Before coffee, before food, before pills. Speech Balloon Real Comment says, "My dad lived to 96 and swore by one thing. Flush the night out with a glass of water, then you can do whatever you want." Speech Balloon Story, Miguel's Glass. Miguel, 91, didn't like routines. He skipped breakfast, napped at odd hours, and hated vitamins. But every morning for 60 years, he drank a full glass of water the moment he woke up. It started as advice from his army doctor, but over time it became his anchor, His digestion stayed strong. His joints stayed limber. His skin? Remarkably healthy. When asked why he kept doing it, Miguel said, "Because it's the first thing I do that says I care about staying alive today." Test tube, why this works. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, the body wakes up dehydrated. And dehydration, even mild, can cause fatigue, poor digestion, joint stiffness, brain fog, higher risk of stroke. Water in the morning rehydrates cells, helps detox the liver and kidneys, prepares the gut for digestion, reduces inflammation, boosts metabolism and mental clarity, and it takes less than 2 minutes. Wrench what you can do. Place a glass or bottle of water by your bed every night. Drink 250 to 500 milliliters before coffee or food. Avoid cold water, it shocks the system. Use room temp or warm. Add a slice of lemon if you need flavor or want extra benefits. Make it a ritual, a moment of care, a quiet yes to your body. Compass the deeper truth. It's not the water that gives you life. It's the decision to start with something nourishing. You're not just hydrating. You're saying, I'm still choosing myself. You expose yourself to natural light within the first hour. Most people think morning light is nice to have, but to the longest living people in the world, it's medicine. Within the first hour of waking, they step outside, not for exercise, not to check the mail, just to stand in the light. Speech Balloon Real comment says, "My mom lived to 98 and always stood barefoot by the window each morning. She said the sun reminded her she was still here." Speech Balloon Story, Ruth's Window. Ruth, 84, didn't go outside much anymore. Her knees hurt. She lived alone. The stairs felt daunting. But she read something that stuck. Light before screens. Every morning. So she made a deal with herself. Coffee in hand, she'd open her blinds, stand in the beam, and just be. 3 weeks in, her sleep got better. Her headaches disappeared. Her mood lifted. Now she calls it her light appointment. And she hasn't missed a day in 4 years. Test tube. Why it works. Natural morning light. Regulates your circadian rhythm, internal clock. Increases serotonin, which boosts mood and focus. Improves melatonin production, leading to better sleep. Lowers cortisol, stress hormone. Improves vitamin D synthesis, especially during outdoor exposure. Without morning light, especially after 60, sleep becomes fragmented. Mood declines. Mental sharpness fades. Risk of depression increases. It's not about sunshine. It's about biological instruction, telling your body, it's morning. Wake up. Begin. Wrench what you can do. Step outside, even for 2 to 5 minutes, within 60 minutes of waking. No sun. Daylight still works, even on cloudy days. If you can't go out, open a window, sit by it. Avoid screens before light. Phones confuse your rhythm. Pair it with another habit, coffee, prayer, or slow breathing. You're not sunbathing. You're resetting your clock. Compass the deeper truth. Every day, your body asks, are we still living? And the first light is your soft, shining answer. Pause here. Have you done this today? Have you stepped outside or stood in the light just to be present? If yes, write number 3 light ritual in the comments. If not, maybe tomorrow's your first time. Let us know below. We read everyone. You make contact with yourself or someone else. Longevity isn't just physical, it's emotional. And every morning, those who live the longest do one thing instinctively. They connect, sometimes with a person, sometimes with a pet, sometimes just with themselves in the mirror. But they never start the day in isolation. Speech Balloon Real comment says, my dad would call his sister every morning at 9:07, not 9 o'clock, not 9:10. He said it kept his heart in rhythm more than his medication did. Speech Balloon Story, George's Ritual. George, 86, lived alone. His wife had passed. His kids were busy. Most friends had moved or gone. But every morning, without fail, George stood at his bathroom mirror, looked himself in the eyes, and said, "Good morning. You're still here. Let's make this one count." It started as a joke, then became habit, then became sacred. He swears it saved his spirit, because even when no one else greeted him, he greeted himself. Test tube. Why this works. Human contact, even micro-contact, fuels the brain and body, increases oxytocin, lowering blood pressure and stress, improves immune function, stimulates dopamine, increasing motivation, maintains emotional resilience, encourages routines, movement, and healthy decisions. Even self-contact, eye contact, positive self-talk, has been shown to reduce loneliness, improve memory and cognitive clarity, raise serotonin levels. Longevity isn't about never being alone. It's about never feeling abandoned by others or by yourself. Wrench what you can do. Say good morning to someone. Phone, neighbor, pet, mirror. Create a short check-in ritual with a loved one. Place a note by your bed. Still here, still worthy. Do gentle self-touch. Hand on chest, arm massage, warm towel. Speak to yourself. Kindly, out loud. You're not silly for talking to yourself. You're wise enough to know. Connection starts from within. Compass the deeper truth. To live longer, you must feel worth living for. And sometimes it begins with a simple, "Hello, I see you." You do one small thing that activates your body. It doesn't have to be yoga. It doesn't have to be a walk. It can be a stretch, a breath, a gentle reach for the sky. But every person who lives past 90 does something with their body every morning. Not for weight loss, not for fitness, just to say, "I still move." Speech Balloon Real comment says, "My grandfather did 5 slow arm circles each morning while his coffee brewed. He said it helped his brain wake up before his legs." Speech Balloon Story, Linda's Reach. Linda, 88, lives in a retirement home. She's not mobile like she used to be. But every morning, before breakfast, she stands by her chair and lifts her arms. Sometimes slowly. Sometimes just once. She says it reminds her of when she danced. It keeps her spine tall, her spirit taller. She's the most alert, upbeat person in her building. All from one quiet ritual. I reach, therefore I rise. Test tube. Why this works. Small physical activation increases blood flow to the brain, wakes up muscles, joints, lymphatic system, raises dopamine and endorphins, feel-good chemicals, regulates glucose and blood pressure, reduces risk of falls and stiffness. Even 30 seconds of movement improves mental clarity, mood, energy for the day, body awareness. Your body doesn't need a workout. It needs a reminder that it still belongs to you. Wrench what you can do. Reach to the ceiling 3 times. Slowly. Do 5 chair squats or leg extensions. Swing your arms in big circles, front and back. Massage your hands, feet, or shoulders. Stand tall, breathe deep, smile. This isn't about performance. It's about presence. Compass the deeper truth. If your body is still here, it's asking you to say yes to it. So move, gently, imperfectly, consistently, because motion says, "I'm not done." You do something that makes you curious. It doesn't have to be big. A new recipe, a song you've never heard, a question you've never asked. But one thing the longest living people share, they stay curious. Even at 91, even in pain, even when life feels small, they still want to know, what's next? Speech Balloon Real comment says, My grandma read one random article a day until she passed at 95. She said it kept her young. I believe her. Speech balloon story. Ray's book. Ray, 90, never went to college. But every morning, he opened a book, any book, and read one paragraph. Sometimes history. Sometimes poetry. Sometimes cereal boxes. He called it feeding the upstairs. He said, if you stop asking questions, your brain gets bored. And when your brain gets bored, it starts packing up. Ray stayed sharp, funny, and curious until the end, because he never stopped learning. Test tube, why this works. Curiosity activates the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus, triggers dopamine release, reward, motivation, enhances memory retention and emotional regulation, fights apathy and depression, builds cognitive reserve, protection against decline. Even 2 minutes of novelty or interest can wake up the aging brain. Longevity isn't about knowledge. It's about the desire to discover, wrench what you can do. Look up one random question a day. Listen to a podcast or story. Try one new food, show, or scent. Call someone and ask how they are. Really. Keep a what's this list. And explore it weekly. If you're still asking questions, you're still expanding. And growing minds live longer. Compass the deeper truth. A curious brain is a living brain. And every time you open your eyes and wonder, you whisper to life, keep going, I'm not done yet. Here's what people who live well past 90 often do each morning. They wake up at the same time. They drink water before anything else. They expose themselves to natural light. They make some kind of human or self-connection. They move. Even just a little. They do something that sparks curiosity. Not perfectly, not all at once, but consistently, with love and intent. So here's the challenge. Sunface, tomorrow morning, do just one of these. Start small, stay curious, and then come back and tell us what changed. Because maybe the road to 90 isn't about doing more. Maybe it's about doing the right things, again and again, with heart. Speech Balloon. Subscribe to Speech Balloon, Longevity Talks Herb, for more uplifting, real-life tools for living well after 60. Left speech bubble. Leave a comment. #4 inches if the connection spoke to you. #6 inches if curiosity still lives in your chest. Still waking up. If you're walking this path with us, you are not behind. You are not late. You are just right here. And we're glad you are.